My boyfriend waited until our flight to tell me he has lied to his parents about everything: our relationship, where we live, even our jobs, and now he expects me to play along for 2 weeks. So, my boyfriend, 28M, and I, 28F, have been together for 4 years. We live across the country from his parents, so this Christmas is the first time I will actually be meeting them. They are hosting us at their house for 2 weeks. I'm super thrilled to meet his family. It will be his parents and 2 siblings that still live at home. He has met my parents quite a few times because they live in the same area as us. He moved here for school about 10 years ago and loved it, found a job and stayed. Everything is going amazing. We moved in together 2 years ago and our relationship is just progressing naturally. We aren't really in a rush to try to move quickly or anything, but I will call it a very serious relationship at this point. So, anyway, yesterday we boarded our 6-hour flight. He seemed a little bit nervous and fidgety, but I know that he doesn't fly very much, so I attributed it to that and told him I was there for him if he needed anything, to comfort him, and to let me know if I could do anything to calm his nerves. He said it was fine and we were having a pretty good flight. Now, partway through the flight he grabs my hand and tells me he wants to tell me something. He tells me that his parents think that we are a fairly new relationship. They don't know that we live together. They don't know that he is close with my family. He told them that we met at work when in actuality we met at school years ago. We had a lot of the same classes and met in school but stayed friends for a long time. He tells me that they think he lives in an entirely different city. He lied to them about what degree he has and they think he has an entirely different job. He told me that a few white lies about making his parents happy so that they would keep sending him money during school snowballed into not knowing how to tell them, and he pretty much has a totally fake life in their eyes now. He told them that I work in the same field as his fake job even though I don't. He gave them a totally random family backstory on me. He really wants me to keep up appearances with the stories he told them over this holiday because he doesn't want to make a big scene and be embarrassed about having to lay it all out and would prefer to wait until we get home again to tell them everything. I feel extremely uncomfortable with this and I was honestly pretty shocked. I have said hello to his mom on speakerphone conversations, popped in for a Skype hellos when they were chatting, and honestly had no idea that he had made up a huge story about us and me. I realize now that I've only actually spoken to her in the last year, which is how long his family thinks we have been together. It makes me feel like I can't trust him. He promised me that this is the only thing he's ever lied about. He said he lied about it because he wanted his parents to be happy with his decisions and wanted them to think he was making the choices they wanted for him. Would it be reasonable to assume that these are the only lies he has told and he hasn't fabricated anything within our own relationship? He never told me that they didn't know anything about us, he always made it seem like they did. I'm not really sure where to go from here or how to tell him that I don't want to do this. His parents paid for our tickets. Would the nice thing to do just be close my mouth and let him sort this out on his own when we get home and just play along? I don't know what to do. We got here yesterday and everyone is fabulous, but so far I have just kept my mouth shut about everything. The first big family dinner is tonight, which I expect is where most of the conversation about us and what we do is going to come up, and I'm not sure how to handle it. Relevant comment: what I don't understand is that the guy is an architect when his parents wanted him to be a teacher. How can he think so poorly of his own parents who paid for his education to assume they wouldn't respect his choices? Unless they're crazy strict or abusive, I just don't understand why you would conceal so much. OP, yeah. It's a fabulous job and he has wonderful parents. I'm sure they would be incredibly proud. His younger sister is a McDonald's manager and they treat her promotions as they would if she had just made partner at a law firm. There's no way they would be disappointed. I feel so frustrated at him and honestly I feel betrayed for his parents. They paid his way. It's so frustrating to feel trapped in this situation. Small update, in the same post, so I decided to tell him that I won't be perpetuating the lies, but I won't outright say anything because I don't feel like it would be appropriate for me to be the reason everything blows up. I actually decided not to go to the first family dinner and I'm unsure if I'm going to stay at this point, but I don't really know what to do. I didn't pay for the ticket, so I feel really horrible about seeming ungrateful, but I got a hotel for 3 nights just to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm still thinking because everything is just so intertwined and complicated, our bank accounts, our rental agreement, etc. So apart from the fact that I want to make this relationship work because I love him, it's also not really simple enough for me to just break away and leave. I want to work this out for everyone and figure out how to help him tell his family before we leave. Anyway, I'm so sorry I'm so late for updating, but I will update again when I have a more concrete plan. His family is amazing and I feel wretched about everything. Second update, the next day. Okay. I think we have come to what will hopefully be the start of a resolution. So, I told his mom that I was so incredibly grateful for her generosity so far, even just 1 day into the trip, which is why I actually needed to take some time away and stay at a hotel for a few days because staying with her didn't feel right until we cleared up some serious personal issues that have just come to light. I talked to my boyfriend and we decided on a plan. Tomorrow morning his mom and dad are meeting us in a restaurant in the hotel. I offered to take them to brunch to discuss everything. I told him and his mom, separately, that I really want to be a part of this family, and for that to happen we all need to have a big conversation. The plan is, at brunch my boyfriend is going to lay everything out on the table. I'm going to explain to them that I didn't even realize the lies that have been going on and I wasn't comfortable staying there and lying to their face, and that I just found out about this the day we landed. I wanted to make sure that my boyfriend resolved this with them because from the moment I found out I felt horrible, and I wanted to get off on the right foot with them. We both wanted to make sure that my boyfriend came clean while we were here. When I was talking to my boyfriend, there were definitely some tears, and I think he's going to feel so much weight off his chest when we finally talk about this. I really don't think he wanted or intended for this to happen. I don't think he would have brought me here if he wasn't okay with the truth eventually coming out. I will definitely update when the conversation happens. Thank you so much for the advice and support, everyone. Relevant comments. Commenter, maybe the boyfriend is lying about being an architect? OP, I know for sure he is an architect. I'm not worried about that part, genuinely. He does a lot of work from our home office. We also hosted the Christmas party for his office the last 2 years, so I know his bosses and coworkers really well. I'm 100% positive they would have corrected me or not mentioned him during conversations and discussions about design projects. He's in a semi-senior role at his work and I frequently stop by his office after work. We usually meet in the reception area to drive home. His office also has his name and job title, project manager, on his door. Trust me, he couldn't be fabricating the career with me so close and our general relationship with the office, not trying to argue with you or anything as I'm sure there's other lies, but his career and our bills are totally kosher, there's no worries there. I'm an industrial designer and familiar enough with the career and worked in long enough the field that I would catch a lie about his work pretty instantly. My guess is that it's something to do with his parents funding him and assuming he has an education degree because that's what he told them he was taking for some reason. Whether he knew right away that wasn't what he was going to do or changed once he got to school, I honestly have no idea. We hadn't met yet at that time. That's the reason it's so strange and frustrating for me because he has a fabulous career. Final update, 2 days later. It feels like so much to have to type out, so I'm going to try to condense it to be as straightforward and simple as possible. Basically, the brunch went really well. I was very impressed by my boyfriend. He was actually really forthcoming and laid pretty much everything out. He apologized to me and his parents, and he gave me an opportunity to tell them anything I wanted to tell them about my actual family, my life. They were really interested, and it was really refreshing just to start to get to know them on an honest level. He basically came clean about absolutely everything, including some other personal stuff that I didn't even know about that he had told myself and them. He apologized and promised he was going to take steps to earn our trust back, including therapy. It really actually felt like it brought us closer together. His parents were quite hurt and initially upset, but I think it really did a lot for what they thought of me as a partner for their son and future daughter-in-law, which I'm really happy about. They were really supportive in the end and told him that basically at the end of the day he is still loved and they will just have start building that trust up again. I'm going to continue staying at their house now, they will tell his siblings together. I actually ended up sitting down for a cup of tea at their place with his mom, and she did explain to me that she's going to talk to him privately about the pressure he might have felt to lie to them, because I guess they realize now that they put more pressure into him than any of the other kids because he was originally going to follow his dad's footsteps as an English teacher. She told me that she really likes me and she hopes it doesn't affect my view of their family or her son. She thanked me for pushing for the honesty and she can't wait for the opportunity to get closer to us. My boyfriend also seems so much more open to having conversations about coming back and having them come stay with us. It really worked out in the long run for me to not make any hasty decisions because I'm really happy with how this turned out. To me it just seems like just mistakes on both ends that culminated into a really bad choice on his end. Thank you again everyone for the advice. Reddit Rave, this was posted in 2019 and there has been no further updates since.